Hello, Jordan.
What's up, Michael?
Stress levels are high.
Really?
Stress levels are high, my brother.
Why?
Just a lot of different issues. Client issue, got a other kind of business issue, got a baby. She's some work to take care of, and yep. We're potting though. We're potting anyway.
Bro, have you seen the show Love on the Spectrum?
That's what life is, brother. It's potting and getting it done, even when you're feeling a little stress. I've seen clips from that show. Yes.
What are your thoughts?
Hang on. First, we got a sale and it's ending soon. So.
Oh, yeah. Hey, listen up. Hey, listen. Not only if you haven't applied yet, apply. But if you've applied and you've been accepted, you're not locked in at this rate in perpetuity.
Correct.
Okay? So if you've applied and you want to get in, you have to join now during this sale.
Yep.
Or else the price is going to go up and you're not going to be able to get in at this price. And you're welcome to join later if you'd like. But this happens every time people apply and then they get in and then they don't join and then the sale is over and then the next sale comes and they're like, wait, I thought it was going to be this. It was like, well, that's what it was the last fucking time. But you didn't join then. So if you want in now at the lowest price it's going to be ever, which by the way is a fraction of what the other mastermind guru nonsense is, join now.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well said. Love on the Spectrum.
Bro, what are your thoughts?
I've just seen a couple clips. I don't know. There's like a really endearing, charismatic young lady with autism who is dating a guy and they say cute and funny things. I don't have comprehensive thoughts on this subject.
Okay. So as you know, I'm not a reality TV guy.
Whoa. You are the person who forced me to watch Love is Blind.
I did not force you to watch Love is Blind.
You did.
Number one, I didn't force you to do anything. Number two, I hate
against
that
my
show.
consent, Jordan forced me to watch Love is Blind.
No. And you wanted to continue watching it when I quit.
Absolutely
I quit forever
false.
After Trevor fucking ruined everything, just destroyed it.
Hang on. The season before that, you were very into.
I wasn't very into it. I said the pods are interesting. Once after the pods, then it's over.
My brother, I'll never forget sitting in the gas station parking lot, filling up my rental car before taking it to the airport down in Florida. It was at nighttime. It was dark out. And you were like, dude, I can't wait for you to watch this. It is.
Yeah, I couldn't wait for you to watch it. Yeah. I wanted your reaction. I wasn't that into it.
All right. So Jordan,
I haven't watched it since.
Jordan, who's a moderate to like very interested in reality TV guy.
The only reality TV that I really enjoy is like the UFC house where they get all these fighters to compete for a contract. That's my favorite reality TV.
You like a wide
no, I'm a very niche
reality
topic.
TV. You like a spectrum of reality TV from high testosterone UFC all the way to dating shows. Like
let's zone in. Let's zone in.
I'm happy to zone in, but you are the reality TV guy.
All right. Okay. Bro, this show. So I didn't want to watch it. I don't want to watch basically any reality TV. Very rarely am I but especially this one, I didn't want to watch it. And then we had a family friend that was like talking about how amazing it is. And we had another person talk about how amazing it was. So my wife was like, let's watch it. And I was like, okay. So number one, I didn't want to watch it mainly because of reality TV, but also it feels super like exploitative.
Of the people with a disability.
Dude, mm-hmm. Yes. Like some of them are severe level. I know it's a spectrum. Some of them are like very far on one end of the spectrum. And like,
does everyone on the show have autism?
I believe all of the thus far, all of the people who are actively dating
mm-hmm.
and who they're watching have autism. All their family doesn't have it necessarily.
No, sorry, all of the contestants. Can you explain the show for all of us, like people who aren't that into reality TV?
All right, buddy. Basically, they get a bunch of people who have autism, and they set them up on dates with other people who have autism and or other issues.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So, and they range in terms of their severity.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it feels very exploitative because I guarantee you that some of them have, I can't guarantee it. I would be shocked if some of them really understood the magnitude of what was going on, of them like being shown worldwide, or like, and like some of the clips are cute, but also like some of them are funny because of like how sad it is, right?
I haven't seen those.
It's like really, it's really sad. And I will say the one major benefit that I've noticed is like it's so much more empathy for those who struggle with autism and those who are struggling with it and their family and everything and everything they have to go through, especially like on the more severe end. It's interesting to see the differences in severity, like some people who have a relatively low on the spectrum versus someone who's relatively high, and I'm probably using all the wrong terminology.
And I would imagine they can't even have the people who are extremely high on the spectrum on the show because, like, is there anyone on the show who's nonverbal, for example?
No, I haven't seen, but there are people who were nonverbal until they were relatively like, until there was one kid I think who like didn't talk until he was 5 or something. But dude, there are people who are very severely on the spectrum, like severely. I don't know, the the gut part of you that just knows if something is right or wrong.
Yep.
Like that part of me is like, this is wrong. That part of me is like, they shouldn't be putting these people on TV, especially those with severe. If someone who has more mild, there are some people who have more mild who like, as I'm watching them, I'm like, if I was hanging out with them, I might think maybe they're just a little bit odd, but like I would be friends with that person type of a thing. Those people, if they like willingly go into it, great, no issues whatsoever. But some of these people, I'm like, oh man, this is really sad. It's really sad. But then on the other hand, you see these people go on dates and like they're so happy. And they get like super happy when they're on dates with someone else. And it's funny because you watch and you're like, oh, they're not enjoying themselves at all. Like they're having a terrible time. And then in the interview, when it's over, they're like, hey, how was it? And they're like, I'm so happy. I want to like, I found my person. I was like, wow, watching you, I had no idea that you were enjoying that whatsoever. So there's pros and cons. It's there's some things that are great. Like watching them go through a breakup is not good. That's not fun at all. And yeah, but anyway, I was interested if you'd seen it. My wife and I have watched like 3 or 4 episodes, and it's a unique show. But then I also wonder like because they made this show not for the benefit of people with autism. They made this show to make money. That's why they made this show. So I'm thinking, who the fuck is in a business room, in a business meeting, be like, I've got a fucking idea. All the dating shows? Let's take people who are really struggling and put them, like, I don't know. I don't like that.
You get a weird gut feeling.
I get weird feelings about it. Yeah.
I can see it. I haven't thought about this. I haven't seen the show. Unfortunately, I don't have a good opinion, but I can definitely see where you're coming from.
Yeah. I mean, there are some really amazing one-liners, like some really incredible one-liners in there. There's my favorite character. His name is Subodh. He's like I think it was a few years ago. He's like 33 or 34 years old at the time. He's Indian. His family's Indian. Not Native American, like Indian. And he seems like the sweetest guy ever. And he has severe autism, and I would imagine other things as well. And I love how his family like loves him so much. he'll say things though where like it was his birthday and his mom was giving the nicest speech ever. Just the most kind speech, like, Subodh, we love you, da da da. And he just interrupts her. He's like, how much longer until you're done talking?
That's awesome.
And then, and his mom is so sweet. She was like, I'm almost done. I just want to finish. Like, she gets it now. Like, obviously, she raised him. But, and then there was another one. So, again, like, he's Indian. The whole family's Indian. And his mom is talking to him about, is he excited for the date that he's about to go on? And he goes, whoa, wait, she's not Indian, right? and mom, she's like, no, she's not Indian. He's like, okay, good. She's American, right? She's like, okay, good. He just did not want to date an Indian whatsoever. It's just so unbelievably straightforward.
The lack of a filter
None.
And like pure, even the social cue of, letting my mom finish giving me this compliment.
Yeah.
When are you done talking?
He's on a date with this woman, and this woman is like, so what are your favorite animals? And he's like, I don't like this topic. Let's switch topics.
You know what? I get it.
Yeah. And she was like, okay, cool. Like, and they both at the end of the date were like so happy. They were like,
that's amazing.
Yeah, just so happy.
That's where it's like there are pros and cons to a situation, even if there is some malintent or some kind of exploitation. Like, I can see the argument that this is different, but it's almost like representation in movies, in acting roles, where, I don't know, there was some drama around Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and because a lot of dwarfs were mad that the new Snow White didn't actually cast seven dwarfs, because it's like, that's 7 opportunities for us to like make it big. Yeah. Like our careers could change on that movie. Whereas the producers or whoever made the decision, I'm really not in the know on this. I'm speaking very loosely, but we're coming from the perspective of it's disrespectful. It's like a bad look. It's like
why?
Not discriminatory.
They're dwarfs.
Yeah, but I don't know. But
that's crazy.
Yeah. I
can understand why they were mad.
Yeah, me too.
It's like,
me too.
So they cast like 7 non-dwarfs?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Or they got rid of them entirely, or they just made it like 7 people and one of them was a dwarf. I really don't know.
I hate that.
You changed the story some. Yeah. We don't need to get into like Disney remaking movies in a worse way, because that's just there's enough people making content about that. We don't need to.
Is there? Oh, I don't see that content.
I haven't either, because I haven't been on X in months, but it's definitely out there.
Oh, bro. Speaking of X, Elon v. Trump. You don't want to talk about that? All right,
I mean, we can. I have literally nothing to say since my daughter was born. You don't even understand how much I don't care about political.
Bro, what do you mean you don't even understand? I get it. I have 2 daughters as well. Like, dude, I get it.
You could be like a senator one day. You're like,
I'm not going to be a senator.
You could though.
Why did you say senator?
Fine, you could be president one day. You got so offended. If I'm getting into politics,
you could be a mayor. You could literally be the mayor. You could be the head of your school board.
Why did you say that?
You could have a library card one day if you really want.
You were so angry that I said senator. I don't know. I thought that was a big role. You have an interest, and you have both an interest and an ability greater than I do in that arena.
All right. Okay. Anyway, we will skip it. We won't have to talk about it. I thought it was interesting. It's crazy.
Talk about it. I want to listen to your thoughts on it. No, genuinely. I had this sweet transition because Subodh was 34.
Oh,
and we were talking about age 34. But then I want to go back to this because I don't know a lot about it. So
I don't know much about it either. I just see like the craziness.
I want to hear what you think of the craziness. Let's actually dive right into it. The people are just licking their lips. We'll do a quick. We'll do a 3-minute recap.
I don't know much other than like the craziness that I've seen, which is today I heard that there was actually a physical altercation between Elon and one of the dudes in the White House. I forget his name, but like they actually like got in a fight several months ago over the big beautiful bill, like a legit, like apparently Elon shoved him and then the other guy came at him throwing punches. And then Trump said, apparently, and I'm just quoting different posts that I saw. Apparently, Trump said Elon's he's a big drug addict.
What?
Apparently, he's a big drug addict. Is what Trump said about Elon.
I heard that story, but I also heard that it was made up. Like someone made it up.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Frankly, either way, it could be under exaggerated or it could be completely made up. But yeah, it's also I remember. Do you remember obviously when Will Smith smacked the fuck out of Chris Rock?
I do.
So I remember when that happened, and I was talking about it, and people were asking me my opinion on Q&As, and I was just like, yeah, it was fucking bad. And there were a lot of people being like, that was staged just to get more views. And I was like, you guys are idiots. That was 100% not staged in any way, shape, or form. And this is one reason why I'm glad when I speak out on certain topics, so I can always go back and prove like this is what I said. Mm-hmm. But I was like, this is going to taint Will Smith's career forever. He wouldn't be willing to do that to boost the ratings on this show or whatever it is, this ceremony. And then it came out that was like, yeah, that was fucking real. Da da da. Right now, there are a lot of people who are being like, "Oh, it's all staged. It's a staged thing to try and get the Democrats mad at the conservatives." I'm like, this isn't staged. This is two dudes who are legitimately fucking going at it. There's no benefit to either of them, especially for Trump, because Elon goes, he's like, "Yeah, Trump's on Epstein's list." By the way, did you see that? He was like, "Yeah."
I saw that tweet.
I was like, "There's no way Trump would ever agree to be like, hey, here's a good idea. Put that one out there.
Yeah.
That's going to be really good." Like, are you stupid? This isn't staged. They're not playing 4D chess here. Yeah. They're fucking duking it out publicly. And that's just what we see. I don't even know what's going on behind the scenes, but crazy.
Yeah, it definitely is crazy. It definitely is crazy.
Good talk. Anyway, let's go to the transition from Sabode 33, 34.
If the people are really interested in Mike's thoughts on Elon versus Trump, I can imagine there's zero people interested in this. But my primary thought is one of the podcasts I really liked over the years is called the All In podcast. And they talk about business, technology, politics have gotten sprinkled in kind of more and more leading up to the 2024 election. But it was a diverse group in terms of like a left-leaning guy, a moderate guy, a right-leaning guy, and then like a center to center-right guy. And they all kind of shifted further right in 2024. And they have some have affiliation with Trump, some have affiliation with Elon, like for their friendships there. But basically, these guys have recorded a weekly pod for, I don't know, basically since COVID. And they release it every Friday, sometimes Saturday, but usually Friday. And the Trump Elon news dropped on, I want to say it was a Wednesday or a Thursday, or it really started to heat up on a Wednesday or a Thursday. And they just mailed it in and didn't record a podcast.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it was like, and maybe they recorded it and didn't put it out. Who knows? But it was one of those like, I don't want never meet your heroes is too extreme because I don't look at any of them that way. But it was a real like, all right, some, if not the majority of you are putting your own personal aspirations and like quest for power, money, whatever, like preserving relationships that are good for you over doing what they normally do, which is report on the biggest things happening in business, finance, technology, politics. And no one said anything. They just like,
they didn't say a word. They were probably told. They were like, hey, don't upload.
No, I don't think they were told by anyone. I think some of them probably saw in their own, it wasn't in their own best interests for what their goals are to
talk about it.
Yeah.
Interesting. So they just didn't release a podcast, or they just didn't discuss it whatsoever?
Didn't release just didn't upload a podcast.
Oh, wow.
So anyway.
Sabode, 33, let's switch topics. I'm tired of this topic. Next topic. I'm just going to do that from now on. Next topic.
Dude, we should do that. Sabode, 34. Yeah, well, you tee this up because this is your topic.
You tee it up.
34 is a number. I don't know. You told me this. There are 3 like tiers in life where either your health takes like the average person's health takes a drastic decline. You're looking it up to really nail the explanation. But Jordan, essentially, Jordan and I were talking about how we feel and our fitness, etc. And Jordan is now 34 years old, has been for about 33 days at this point, and said something to the effect of like, you're really noticing something related to your health and fitness. And then you said you and Susan had a discussion about 34.
No, Susan made a post about it.
Thanks, Sabode. 34, 60, and 78 being these like, see, can you explain this since it's your subject?
Yeah. So there's research showing, and I just pulled it up really quick, that apparently research suggests that aging occurs in 3 distinct shifts or jumps, with the most significant changes happening around the ages of 34, 60, and 78. Age 34, this jump is associated with changes in metabolism and other bodily functions impacting areas like muscle strength and immunity. Age 60, this is considered a midlife shift linked to changes in metabolism, heart health, and potentially increased oxidative stress. And 78, this jump is tied to late life aging, including declines in immune function, frailty, and brain aging.
I understand it from from like an intuitive. If I think about my life from 0 to 34 and from 34 to 38, it feels like things got a little bit harder. You notice a little more aches and pains. Training feels a little different. You know, I notice it in certain ways, but the fact that age 34 and age 60, Grok or whoever you just read, both led with changes in metabolism.
Yeah, it makes you question it.
Yeah, is so strange to me because we have a lot of research on this. And unless we have a book in our chapter called like WTF is metabolism or something along those lines, it's all about metabolism because people often use the word and don't know what it means. I would imagine in this context, they're referring to the exercise activity component of metabolism.
Yeah. Because
we know for a fact that your BMR or RMR isn't falling off at age 34.
Yeah, correct.
And probably not at age 60 very much, but I can see the argument that total daily energy expenditure is decreasing as a result of decreased activity, and maybe more pronounced at those specific age numbers.
Yeah,
but that can be offset through
it.
Lifestyle, individual decision making. You're super tired at 9 p.m., but you go walk around the block 6 times anyway. Like that metabolic fall off doesn't have to happen.
No, it's not inherent. It's based on your lifestyle. I would imagine it's been interesting, not just for me personally, but over the last couple of years, because I keep in touch with a fair amount of people from when I was younger in high school and stuff, as I know you do as well. And like, I feel like within the last couple of years, I've noticed a big shift in other people around my age in terms of like a lot of extra weight gain, noticing the way that they talk about themselves and about their own physical abilities and capabilities, just like a dramatic drop-off, a huge drop-off, almost out of nowhere. Now, I don't think this has to do with age as much as it is what they're doing with their life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's like all of a sudden they hit 30, 32, 34, 36, and all of a sudden like, oh, just something within their body caused this. I think that they were able to get away with more in their 20s because they felt better, they recovered more quickly, they were probably moving more whether they realized it or not. And now that they're getting older, maybe having kids, working more sedentary jobs, working longer hours, not going out to the bar, right? Because like even, it's funny, people think about going to the bars in their 20s and stuff. It's like, yeah, you can consume a lot of calories and eat a lot of calories going to the bar, but you also burn a lot. Especially going bar hopping, you're going around, you're standing, you're going table to table, you go to multiple bars. Like a night out, you could easily walk 5 to 15,000 steps, no problem. Then all of a sudden you're in the 30s, you're like, Nah, I'm not going out.
Yeah,
I'm going to stay right here.
And they might stay on their couch but consume the same amount of beer and same number of
Yes.
calories, but without moving around.
100%.
You also have a 1% decline on average year over year in testosterone in men from age 30 and beyond. So,
Yeah.
30 to 34 isn't massive, but 30 to 40 is, high testosterone makes hard work feel good. You don't want to work as hard. You're burning fewer calories. You're doing less. That's a snowball going the wrong direction.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it's not that you can't improve. I just think that most people's lifestyle, especially in our culture, as they get into their 30s, it really starts to go down, which is, then you double that, then you get to 60, and then you get to almost 80, and you're like, yeah, fuck, people's bone density is screwed up. Their mental capacity is gone, and we're seeing Alzheimer's and all these major issues crop up as a result of the lifestyle factors. And obviously genetics plays a huge role in it. But I do think it's interesting that those ages felt very correct to me.
Yeah.
They just felt correct.
Especially if we think about larger groups of people around those ages, and you see, it's almost like a split in the road, right? Like you're walking down a road and then there's a V and you can take one of two paths, and you see in the mid 30s, like, all right, gain a bunch of extra body weight, less active, more health issues versus people who don't, and people who do the things to prevent that from happening. Around age 60, we see it as well. A lot of people needing various surgeries, knee replacements, etc. around that age. And then 77 or 78 was the other one. 34, 60, and 78. It's like, is 78 to 93 going to be like decent, fulfilling, happy years? Or, I think 78 or around 78 is the average life expectancy for people.
I think it's a little bit,
people in the West.
A few years older. Yeah.
And so it's like, are you going to continue to live another 10 to 15 years, or have you passed by then, or are you in the process of, are you fighting something that could take you out? Cancer, heart disease, etc.
Yeah.
But it motivated me. When you said it to me, just my intuition felt it, in that, oh yeah, things have definitely, and who knows, is it because of my age, 34 to 38, or is it because of changes in how I live my life from 2021 to 2025? Who knows? But I felt, oh yeah, I got away with more and things were a bit easier pre-34 than post-34, which is motivating, because it's like, all right, I'm just going to adopt the habits and behaviors that I need to continue to live a great life, feel great, be extremely healthy, etc.
Yeah, it's funny. I was just thinking that people might hear that age and it goes down, and then their thoughts are, I'm going to mail it in then, like I'm just done. Well, I'm already here. It should be the exact opposite. You should be like, oh, so this is when it gets more difficult. So this is when I have to go even harder.
Yeah.
Like this is when I've got to go fucking crazy.
Yes.
And when I say crazy, it doesn't mean spending 3 hours a day in the gym. What it means for me is I actually reduce the length of my sessions in the gym, but I make them more frequent. Like I'm doing something basically every day. Whereas before I would go like powerlifting days, I would go unbelievably hard 4 days a week in the gym, like as hard as I could, going to a max effort. Now it's like 2 times every 10 days, I'll go like, I never go that hard anymore. Like I never go that hard as I did when I was like 24, but like I go pretty hard. I go pretty fucking hard, like 2 times a week, and then, or 2 times every 10 days. And then the other 8 days are like moderate. Like I'm going and I'm doing something, but I'm not like going fucking balls to the wall, crazy. But it's every day. It's doing something. It's also because if I don't do something, I feel way worse.
Yeah. That's a great reason to do something. 78.4 average life expectancy in the USA.
Oh, wow.
On the subject of your high frequency workouts, congratulations on your splits, my man.
Got him, baby. I fucking
Side
did it.
splits. This was actually on my mental list to talk to you about today.
B to F.
Balls, butthole to floor?
Balls to floor.
Okay.
butthole got there.
Yeah,
but it was
you were there.
I mean, technically, balls were there a while ago, but that's because just anatomy. But I wanted just flat, you know.
Yeah, full splits.
Yeah,
I'm
full
curious.
splits.
Any takeaways from the process? And when you first started, did you think that it would take longer than it took, this exact amount of time, or did you think it would take less time to get here?
No, I thought I'd have it in 30 days because all those fucking YouTube videos were like, I got my splits in 30 days.
What?
I got duped, bro. I got duped. And there's so many YouTube videos like how I got my side splits in 30 days.
That's crazy.
Yeah, tons. And then you go in and you start watching and you see like the person who's just starting their side split journey is actually like almost there. And it's like, okay, you took like a month off and now like you lost a little bit of range. All right, relax.
Yeah.
So there was that. I thought it was going to be 30 days. And then after a couple weeks, I was like, I'll have it within 6 months. And then after the first 6 months, I barely made any progress. I made a lot of progress my front splits in the first 6 months. Side splits, I made almost none. So then after 6 months is when I saw my first like big jump. So it was a year and a half, which looking at the actual data and speaking to my coach and other coaches and people who've done it, average is about 3 years. So I'm pretty stoked with a year and a half.
Amazing.
I've also been outrageously consistent. Like I haven't missed a session. And if I'm traveling or whatever, like I still get it in. Like I literally haven't missed a side split session in a year and a half.
Wow.
I've missed other workouts, but I haven't missed a side split workout. So there's that. I think one of the surprising things is my strength has continued to go up in literally everything that I've devoted strength to. Like the whole idea that stretching is going to make you weaker is no, it's shitty stretching is going to make you weaker. I think one of the cool things was
you've also continued to lift.
Yeah, I still lift.
Yeah.
But you know, there are a lot of people like you shouldn't be stretching because it's like your muscles are like elastic bands, and the more you stretch them, and then the more like it's like, all right, shut the fuck up. That's not how they work at all.
Are there people who think that? I know there's the acute argument where if you're a high level lifter doing a bunch of static stretching pre-workout might have a slight strength performance detriment during that session. But are there people who are like, stretching in general is going to make you weaker?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
In the same way that there are people who say cardio in general will prevent you from building muscle. It's like same nonsense.
Idiots. Yep.
I think there are many different takeaways. I don't want to spend the whole time talking about it. I think the other cool one is that every split variation, whether it's front, side, or pancake, improves the other splits. So the improvements I made with my front split helped my side split. The improvements I made with my side split helped my front split. The improvements so it's in a similar way where it's like I found out when I was powerlifting that if I got stronger with my dips, my weighted dips, I'd hit a bench press PR. If I got stronger with my weighted glute ham raises, I would hit a deadlift PR. Like I had these tester accessory exercises that would let me know if I was strong enough to hit a new personal record in the main lift. And it's been cool to see that you don't necessarily have to do that one thing. And in fact, if you only do that one thing, you'll probably end up handicapping yourself. And it's better to do a mix. That was the mistake I made my first time around in like 2021 when I first started to do it. I only did side splits. I was like, I only want the side splits. I'm only going to go after the side splits. And then I ended up tweaking my knee after like a month because that was just too much stress on the medial aspect of my knee. Whereas now, like doing all of them, it allowed me to recover more and also help benefit the articulations of my hips. And it basically was super helpful.
I think there's an important lesson in there is that you had made a little bit of an attempt at this in 2021.
Yeah, I did.
Like people give up on goals way too easily. I think you actually are in one of the elite percentiles of not doing that. I remember being impressed with your jujitsu at some point in like the 2020, 2021 range, and finding out at that time that you had like multiple stints of trying to roll consistently before then, like years before, that didn't work out. And you found a way to get back on it and get consistent.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel like I have like a singular focus. Whatever that one thing is, that's what I do. So the years before when I was trying to get into jiu-jitsu, my singular focus was business, right? It was like, so I kept trying to do it, and then I would get injured, and I was like, fuck it, it's just not worth it. I'm going to go on business. Then after a while, then jiu-jitsu became like my main focus, and then I just did that. And that's actually, I tried to do the side splits while I was doing jiu-jitsu, and I got injured. I was like, you know what, it's not worth it. I just want to do jiu-jitsu. Then once after a few more years of jiu-jitsu, then I was like, you know what, now I really want to do the side splits, or I want to do the splits in general. So I actually took a break. I literally took almost a year off jiu-jitsu, and now I literally just got back into jiu-jitsu in the last couple of weeks. So it's like whatever I focus on one thing, and that's it for literal years at a time.
One thing as the main thing.
As the main thing, yeah.
Dope.
Yeah, man. That's it.
He's a splits guy.
How's dad life?
It's good. It's good. Everything's good. It's just tiring.
It's exhausting, yeah?
It's tiring. Yep.
Not getting good sleep?
I can't complain. I can't complain.
Which feed are you doing? Are you doing the...
I'm doing like 9 p.m. When I say it out loud, I really can't complain. I do the 9 p.m. so she's probably like down by 10.
Okay.
And then I'm doing the 4/4:30. And then I'll try and go back to sleep after that one. But sometimes I just can't. I mean, I can, but if I have Gary that morning, like sometimes I can't schedule wise, and sometimes I can't if she's fussy and, she's in our room in the bassinet. And so sometimes I'm just a light sleeper too. So I think the sleep quality is probably down. All champagne problems, nothing I can complain about whatsoever. Things are good.
But also, even if you're able to rest. I'm using rest deliberately instead of sleep. Even if you're resting and you're like trying to sleep, once you have your baby, like you're on high alert.
Yeah.
You are on high, you're checking, are you breathing? Are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't really sleep deeply and I think it's easier for us. I think it's even way more difficult for the woman who actually gave birth to it. That's like biological responses. But it makes sense that you're exhausted, even if that amount of sleep doesn't sound like terrible, which is definitely not good. It's fucking, you're chronically exhausted because you're constantly on high alert.
Yeah.
Makes total sense.
Yeah. But she's doing really good. She's healthy. Everyone here's good. So we're good.
You figure out that fund?
No, you didn't reply.
I texted you. Yes, I did.
Yes, you did. Thank you.
There's a fund. There's a fund that a lot of parents will make college funds for their kids, which is amazing. I think it's fantastic. My wife and I didn't want the issue with the college fund is that you can only use that money for college, and my number one, I feel like college wasn't the best thing for me, even though I did go. I mainly did it to make sure I had a relationship with my mom. My wife didn't feel like college was the best thing for her either. And then just the way the world is going, college, I think, is becoming less and less and less important. And people are caring less and less and less about it. So rather than only having a fund that can only be used for college, if our children decide they don't want to go the college route, if they want to go, great, they can use this money for college. If they don't want to go to college, then they can use it for something else, whether it's starting their own business. They won't be able to use it just for alcohol and drugs. Like we're not going to be able to do that. We'll have control over it. But other ventures, even if it's something like they want to go and volunteer for a year and travel, it's like, we can use that money for that, as opposed to only being forced to use it for what some governing body deems education.
Yeah. If you invest a bunch of money and at age 18, your kid can have that money, And in scenario 1, they can only use it to go to an accredited university. And in scenario 2, they can use that money for anything. Scenario 2 makes more sense. College is many years away for our children. And like you said, 1, I don't know that even right now it's as valuable as it was 10 to 15 years ago, especially degree dependent. 2, I don't know if the cost justifies the benefit you're going to get from it. Yeah. So it's a better idea to keep your options open.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just going to start a college fund, and then you were like, oh, here's what we did. You can use it for college or something else. Like, oh, that makes a lot more sense.
Dude, especially with AI.
Yeah.
It's about to open up a big can of worms with jobs.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the benefits of college, one of the underrated benefits of college in my experience is it's like it weeds people out because it does take a lot of effort to like get into a solid school and then get good grades and succeed at a solid school, regardless of what you're learning there. To accomplish that is a filter of some kind. It's not a perfect filter, obviously, but yeah, we'll see.
I'm highly biased, so I might be clouded in this, but I got through college with such little effort. It was incredible.
Let me just make this super easy. Think of your entire high school graduating class. Take all of the kids who went to college and take all of the kids who didn't go to college and look at what they're all doing now and some of the kids who went to college are now like drug addicts and like, doing whatever. And some of the kids who didn't go to college are absolutely crushing it and living amazing lives.
Yeah.
But the average, there's going to be a difference in the average.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's an accurate statement.
But
that's correct.
I'm fully with you. I hated what I got my college degree in and used the couple of nutritional science courses that were like electives that I got to take as part of the pre-business application process way more every single day than the rest of my like major focus. And so I'm fully with you on college.
Mm-hmm.
Let's fire up a little Q&A. Let's see what you got in your Q&A.
Let's start with do you offer flexibility programs just as a business discussion? I never got that question literally ever before a year ago.
Yeah, because you're doing it in your content.
Because I'm doing it. And not only because I'm doing it, because I showed people I can do it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Make content about the goals of the people who you want to coach.
And equally important, don't just talk the talk, walk the walk.
Absolutely.
Do it. If I just spoke about flexibility all the time, I'm sure I would get some people who would sign up based on flexibility. But it's another thing to talk about. It's another thing to fucking show it. Like, if you want to show people how to lose fat, show them that you know how to lose fat. Show them.
Yeah.
If you want to show people that you can get stronger, show them.
Yeah.
Show them. Take them on that journey with you.
Mm-hmm.
Show them. And I get that amount of people. I get people asking about that all the time now, and I never used to get it before.
And it's harder. It's harder to actually demonstrate it yourself rather than just talk about it. But there's reward in that difficulty in the number of people who will want to sign up with you for said goal.
How many hours do you sleep?
Oh, let's review your sleep hours.
Okay.
We were going to do that at one point.
Okay. Here we go. Tuesday, June 10th. Sleep score 72. 4 hours and 47 minutes of sleep. That was last night.
What time from what to what?
That was from 2:26 to 7:14.
Wow.
Monday, June 9th, score 76, 7 hours and 6 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday, here we go. This will get some good stuff. Sunday, I did not score of 93, 8 hours and 36 minutes.
Let's go.
That was good. Saturday, score 71, 8 hours, 14 minutes.
Yep.
Friday, score of 69, 5 hours and 18 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday, this was a sick one. Score of 90, 9 hours and 37 minutes.
Let's go.
Wednesday, score of 64, 6 hours, 29 minutes.
Does it have an average for you?
7 hours and 9 minutes. Not bad.
Good job, Dad.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, I is 7 hours kind of historically what you would want?
I wouldn't say it's what I would want.
Did you pay close attention to sleep at any point?
No.
Yeah, it's not that you don't care. It's just, regardless of how much you sleep, you're just going to do what you got to do the next day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Genetic differences in sleep, amount of sleep required, are super interesting to me.
Yes, agreed.
Another thing that's interesting to me is my own personal experience of the times where I felt like I needed the least sleep. You're not going to like this at all.
Uh-oh.
The times when I felt like I needed the least sleep and did amazing are when I was consistently meditating.
I don't not like that.
Why not?
I don't care that you meditate, dude.
It's not about me. It's just about the practice of meditation in general and your experiences with it.
Dude, I mean, it makes sense because you love meditation.
I don't at all. Not even remotely love it. It's terrible. You sit there and you like focus on your breath, or like you can't do something fun. You can't be scrolling. You can't be like eating. You can't be doing anything. You're literally just sitting there. It's awful. I'm the opposite of love meditation, but I dislike how I am when I'm not doing it a lot of the times. And I like some of the benefits that come from it in terms of reduced impulsivity, increased sleep quality. The few times when I've consistently meditated in the past, there is a gap between me feeling an emotion and me taking an action. Like it's almost like there's a
the impulse control.
Yeah, like time just slows down for me, and I feel like I'm in more control of my actions and emotions. It's purely on a physiological, biochemical, neuro level. Meditation does something good to my brain.
So you hate doing it, but you love how you feel once it's done.
Not even once it's done in the acute sense of like, oh, I just did a great workout and now I feel a high from it. It's like, I like how my 24 hours go when I'm consistently meditating compared to when I'm not consistently meditating. But yes, I do not like doing it while I'm doing it ever.
Interesting. So when you're doing it, you're like actively disliking it.
Yes.
What is the worst part? Actively doing it or thinking about it in the minutes leading up to doing it? And you're like, oh, I'm going to do it. I have to like, when you're about to do it, is that the worst part, or is actively doing it the worst part?
Depends on the day, I think. There's sometimes my body just wants to move and doesn't want to sit there. That for a lot of things in life, I would say thinking about it leading up to it is the part I dislike more. For this, I think actually doing it is what I dislike more.
But you do it for like 20 minutes, right?
I don't do it at all, Jordan. I got a 5.5 week old. I got like a 1-day streak going over here.
Historically,
I don't do it. I've had like 2 or 3 good streaks in my life. And I think the longest one was, a handful of months.
And in those handful of months, how long was your average meditation session?
20 minutes twice a day.
Twice a day! I forgot about that part. That's crazy.
There's a famous quote, if you don't have time to meditate for 5 minutes, you should meditate for an hour.
That is a very good one. F45 workouts?
Nah, I'm not a... What do you think of F45 workouts?
You don't like them?
I have never done a class, and I just associate it with Orange Theory style of training. If I'm wrong there, tell me the difference between the two.
So Orange Theory, from what I believe, is like half treadmill, half weights, right? So it's like they do like...
Or some percentage of... Yeah.
Yeah, yep. Something like that. Sort of like Barry's bootcamp, which, candidly, I think they're really fun. Like, I enjoy those workouts. F45, I feel like, is more, it's more weight-based, and they'll do conditioning, but, like, not as much. I'd say it's probably a little bit more athletic-based. With that being said, I really like these types of workouts for the average person. For the average individual, I think F45 is great, Barry's is great, Orange Theories is great. I think they're all fantastic. I don't think that they are optimal for like achieving a specific goal. And I wouldn't write my workouts like that for a client of mine. There's a reason why I don't write workouts in the inner circle like that. But I look at them as, number one, they have amazing communities. Like the people in those communities, they often develop incredible relationships built around fitness and health, getting up early, training, or whenever they work out. But they have a group that they train with, and that's part of their community, which I love. They do focus on progressive overload. They do improve your overall. Yeah, they do. My wife took F45 for a couple of years, and like I know people who teach berries and Orange Theory. Like, obviously, not every coach in general is going to be great no matter where you are, but they do focus on progressive overload. They do improve your strength. They do improve your overall conditioning and cardio. And the way that I look at it is that, if nothing else, they're going to get the average person significantly healthier. And I think that I consider them like a gateway drug to higher level fitness, where once you get into that, you are far more likely to build up the confidence to say, I want to go do something else. So I don't agree with everything that they do, but I agree with far more than I disagree. And I think that they do a really good job of getting the average individual into a gym to get doing something that is going to, for the average person, increase their strength, increase their cardio, improve their mental, physical, and emotional health, and get them involved in the fitness community. So I really don't have much bad to say. Like, if we want to get into the nitty gritty, yeah, I can get into the nitty gritty of program design and stuff that I really don't like. But if I'm looking at it globally, I'm actually a pretty big fan of them.
I've never seen one of these boot camps that provide adequate rest time. Like, I don't think I've ever even seen one with more than a 1-to-1 work to rest ratio. And the goal of the people going there isn't to improve I shouldn't say that. Everyone who's ever come to me and talked to me about it, their primary goal is, I want to lose body fat. I want to look better. I want to feel better. It's not, I want to take my VO2 max from like the 75th percentile to the 90th percentile. No one I've talked to is trying to do that. And so the main thing is this obsession with calorie expenditure via the class, where that should be 0% of the focus. Like, if you're trying to create a caloric deficit, you're doing it through nutrition. You're not doing it through micromanaging a bad estimate of calories burned during this 1 hour a week. And my second main criticism, which is definitely lesser, and there's a higher variance here, meaning some classes do a really good job and some classes don't do a good job, are on proper technique, solid exercise selection, and having a coach or instructor who is making sure that everyone is performing the moves correctly and not hurting themselves. But my first critique, the main one, is just for people who are trying to get leaner and look and feel better, it's not the proper way to work out.
I struggle with that because, I mean, there are many people who do those workouts and they get leaner and stronger. I don't think it's optimal, but I can't deny that people are getting stronger and improving. I would imagine that they're improving their health and improving their bone density, improving their muscle mass. I don't think it's optimal whatsoever, but I also can't be like, it doesn't work and it's the wrong way.
I think it's the wrong way. I've only seen people, and my sample size might be limited, but I've only seen the people who only do these classes and nothing else out having bottles of wine, eating cheesecake, trying to burn those calories off the next day at their Orange Theory class, and not happy with the type of body comp progress they make over time. I agree with you that compared to doing nothing, doing these classes with proper technique will lead to better health outcomes, all else equal. But in practice, I haven't seen people achieve their goals via these classes. Now, I've seen survivorship bias. I've seen people who are like workout fanatics who do these classes every single day, and they go do their own training in the afternoon, and they just love working out, have great physiques and impressive performance, and be very strong doing that. But for the average person who wants to lose 30 pounds of fat, who signs up for this class thinking it's going to help them, I've seen a very, very low percentage success rate.
I feel like we're comparing apples to oranges, because if someone did our workouts and then went home
When they do,
and
when
ate
they,
like
when they
shit
do our
and
workouts,
drank
we're
wine.
teaching them about nutrition.
Right, but
we're
not
not-
everyone is going to do both.
But
And I don't think
when
these
they're at these
gyms are saying.
Yeah,
I don't think
Orange Theory for sure is focused on calorie expenditure within the workout.
Yeah, they are, for sure. I agree. They are. Their focus is on, hey, we want to get you into this zone so you can burn fat. I completely agree. I also, let's look at it this way. What about the people who do it, who don't just eat like shit all the time, and they do get their nutrition in check? Would those people lose fat and build muscle and improve their health?
Yes, I haven't seen it, because that's not the focus of the classes.
You haven't seen it, like, actually people doing that? Like, you just don't know that you don't know those people.
Correct.
Got it. Yeah. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what I mean. Like, I've seen it. I've seen it in people who have like gone to those classes, and not only have those classes improved their health, and those were they got their nutrition in check and all of that, but it's also the phrase that I used was like, it's that gateway drug, that it was the first thing that they did to get them more comfortable and confident in it, to get them to go even further. So I think, again, while I don't think it's anywhere near optimal, which is why I don't program that way in any way, shape, or form, I'm so hesitant to hate on them, because when the alternative is for so many people, well, I just won't do it at all. I'm like, I'm not going to hate on it.
Why does that have to be the alternative, though?
I don't like that it is the alternative, but just realistically, being like a realist and not an idealist, that is for so many people. So, and again, I have no issue saying
overpay. Like, you could join Planet Fitness for $10 a month, save a whole bunch of money, not have to listen to the obnoxiously loud music, not have to do the suboptimally designed programs, not have to wear the heart rate monitor and track your calories, which aren't accurate. Like, agree to disagree. I'm not a fan at all of these classes.
We'll agree to disagree. We'll agree to disagree. I also I took a couple Barry's classes, and they were fucking fun.
Dude, some of the least fun moments of my life are walking within the vicinity of these classes and hearing the loud music and seeing like the psychopath up there trying to get their calorie expenditure for the class as high as possible and compete with everyone else on calorie expenditure. I think, we'll agree to disagree more than we ever have.
Yeah.
Get in the weight room, get a properly designed training program, focus on nutrition, and stop obsessing over calorie burn in a workout with zero rest time, wondering why you're not making progress.
Hey, join the mentorship. All right. Apply, link in the show notes. And if you were accepted, don't sleep on it. And if you weren't accepted this time, try again at the next sale in about 6 months to a year.
Boom. See you next week.
See ya.